started. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. If you are joining us because it's so late, because once again, bugs and scamps and little crittery things are causing problems.
You'd think a PS5 would make a faster load screen time? You were wrong.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't the load screens. Just lots of other ridiculous things that we just won't get into because they make me feel stupid. Okay. Welcome to A Snugpod Cast. I am never separate. I am joined with two of my lovely hosts directly to my right on screen. I have Gone Crazy back soon. How are you? Yeah. Yeah, since we broadcast at two places, YouTube sounds okay, I think, because it shouldn't change much, but Twitch may be all over the place. We'll work that out later. And going over to the right, one more, we have Gwen the Bard. What's up?
Hello.
So you've been playing games and taking notes?
Yes.
Is that
Yes, that prologue that came out.
nice?
Yeah.
Well, we are short one Sasquatch tonight. He had, as it has been so affectionately termed amongst this group, Kid Aggro. So he wasn't able to join tonight, unless he decides to pop in late, which may happen. So if you're listening, Sasquatch, and the Kid Aggro goes away, feel free to pop on in. This thing's going to be all over the place anyway. So,
The doors to the Snugpod are unlocked.
yep. Oh wait, should we announce that out loud? Somebody might come in and steal this beautiful torch bug.
I don't think you can grab it. Try. You can try.
All right. Maybe so.
You gotta earn it. We're getting ahead of ourselves, so we were going to talk about other things tonight.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a ton of things to talk about. It's kind of a light news week, unless we're going to get into the ever-changing PTS. And they changed this combat number by 0.3% this week.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I did, and hopefully I won't be a scrub and actually make some good use of that. Agreed. So just to throw a plug in, if you are interested and able and want to help sick kids, then you can go to, is it extralife.org? Okay. Yep. So you can check that out, and if you just think that that's something you'd like to do, you can also sign up, and you can do it on your own, join a team. Yeah. So it's a good cause. A lot of kids out there. Nobody likes to see kids suffering, and there's some hospitals out there doing good work to try to help with that. So anything that we can do to help those hospitals with research and help families, maybe that, some of the hospitals offer their services without charging the families or charging as little as possible, and that's all largely done through donations and things that help fund that, because the work's not free, but it, I can speak from personal experience. Having kids in the hospital can be very expensive, and not everybody's lucky enough to have insurance and things like that. So, yeah, it definitely helps. Every little bit helps. So I wasn't able to join you guys, but you guys did something earlier this week, just like last night?
let's just do a quick random normal. What did we end up in? Oh, well, you know what? We're still kind of awake. Let's do another random normal. This one has to be quick this time. What did we end up in? Yep.
Well.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're watching, you can look directly over to a left there. That's where the big dragon head comes from, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a giant bone dragon head. I had to put that in the Snugpod. Now he's just peeping in the window. It's great.
It's kind of creepy.
For the cauldron, yeah. It took 6 times for us to all agree it was a bug.
You couldn't just look at it and go, bug! Well, speaking of loading things, some of us are loading a little faster these days. So, tell us about that. Yeah. I pressed a button and it worked.
I am jealous of your screenshots. It's a different game. Like, we took the same screenshot, and yours just look different.
We did the same experiment when I got my PS5 and she still hadn't had one yet. We were like trying to line up our shots the same, like taking pictures of our screen and sending it to each other to try to line up the shots the same so we could compare. Yeah. No. No, I don't think so. Yeah, we noticed that trying to line stuff up the same, one of us had more in view, like it had a wider view. I don't even remember which one of it was. Yeah. Now that may be something in settings I could change that I just didn't find, but yeah.
Sleep PS! Yeah!
Did you kill that wall?
Oh my gosh, when we run banished cells, that's the hard one whenever you're tired. There's so many turns. Oh, yep. Okay.
You might be. Oh. That means that she might not be right back. Yeah. So.
Well, go ahead.
No, you first.
Well, that prologue quest, we want to start talking about that? Did you get a chance to do it?
I did do it. I did it within a day or so of it releasing, I think. So some of the details are a little fuzzy now. It's been I've slept a few times since then, probably a total of like 12 hours or so, but I've slept.
Okay. Well, I figured we could go over that. That's in our show notes for tonight. What were your impressions?
Some of the characters were kind of fun. We briefly mentioned this. I don't know that I'm a big fan of Jakarn, but I'm just not a big fan of that type of character. Just kind of high on himself.
I don't think anyone's a fan of Jakarn. The consensus so far seems to be he is a knockoff version of Darien.
budget
no one
Darien.
seems to like him. What did I tell Katie the other day? Jakarn is like if you ordered Darien off of Wish. It looks like Darien, it sounds like Darien, but there's something off.
Shopping at Goodwill. Here's what I found. Couldn't find the real thing.
This will work. It's not exactly it, but it fits.
Ruh-roh.
Oh no. Did you not stream the party?
Do you have your settings set to, and apologies for those that are listening, that this is not fun stuff to hear, but do you have your party settings set to allow voice audio? Yeah.
The problems of setting up a new console. We'll get there. Once it's all smooth, it'll be smooth.
Okay. Well, I did re-allow it to share voice audio, but let's see if anybody picks it up now for a second.
Once again, us being the most professional ESO podcast you're going to find. This is the joy of live recording without proper audio equipment.
Yep.
Real quick, while you're doing that, we did skip over a few things. We have just a very few news topics. Not anything to really discuss, but just to more announce, I guess. PTS is going on right now. So if you're on PC and want to check that out, or if you play on console and can't play PTS but are curious what's going on with it, you can look up PTS patch notes, and a lot of content creators out there that are putting those videos out, and changes that are coming with combat and just different things like that, so you can kind of follow along with what's happening, but just know that PTS is always subject to change.
Player test server.
Yep. We have, is it tomorrow? The free play event going on right now?
It goes until the 26th.
Okay, so the day after tomorrow. That's what I was thinking. So if you are interested but don't have access or don't own the game and want to try it out, you can try it out for free right now. Or if you want to get some friends to check it out with you, that's there. There is a High Isle recap and press review. It's got links to different content creators. We're not going to read over that, but just kind of gives you some different points of view from different people in the community. And then relating to the prologue quest, if you want to submit a question to Lady Arabelle, who's one of the characters you meet in the prologue, then you can submit that through through the forums?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you just go to the Elder Scrolls Online website and then you click on the forums, it'll pull you up the main page. And I think last I checked, it was the main, like the very top one on the forum page. And it says, you go to Lore, and then it'll have Lore Masters Archive Q&A, and you can reply under there. As of yesterday when I checked, there were only 49 submissions.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good chance. Yeah, I mean, it is, but when you consider how many people play, I mean, I don't know how many people frequent the forums, but
right.
I was kind of thinking it wasn't that many compared to the amount of people in the game, but it's still a pretty hefty amount.
Yeah, we're in, 20 million players or something like that, and 49 replies to the forum.
Yeah.
But that may not be a thing that's, widely done through with ESO players. They may not frequent the forums, or this may not be something that,
Just don't ask her if she's Investigator Vale. She doesn't like that.
No, ask her. Definitely ask her.
That upset her.
And then repeatedly ask her.
She was not happy when we brought that up.
Insist
she
that
said,
you ask again.
We will be good friends if you do not mention this ever again.
So yeah, you can submit a question, and they may have her answer it through an upcoming article. So kind of a neat thing, and you might get to be part of that if you submit a question that they choose. All right.
I'll be back again.
Okay. So back to the prologue quest, Jakarn. We were discussing Jakarn, and
yeah, he lost someone, and we have to go help him rescue a damsel in distress.
Who he's in love? Who is in love with him? Right.
So he believes. So he believes.
But if you ask him, you and I are both in love with him too.
Valessa and Lady Arabelle, we both met and learned a bit about in our letters back before we started the prologue. Because, I don't know who was sending it and who was writing it, but there was a letter between the two of them about hiring Jakarn to deliver the medallions initially.
Right.
So we have heard them before, but now we get to actually see them both in person.
Yeah, and Lady Arabelle is definitely a character.
I feel bad on that one. I screwed up that voice. I read her like she was a high elf when I was reading that letter. She is not a high elf. She is a Breton. She is a notable Breton. She was in the Lion Guard. She was a spy. She works for High King Emmerich.
She's a writer.
We do not mention that she's a writer, because she does not say she's a writer. She She says she is not a writer, though she, for some reason, likes to take a lot of notes about her adventures for some reason. So I don't know, but
Something seems a little bit fishy.
what were your first impressions of Lady Arabelle, of actually meeting her in person?
She is a very strong personality. She's fun, but I also don't know that she would be a good influence on my children. Yeah. She's a fun character. But again, some of the details are a little fuzzy because it's been a few days.
Fair. Overall, I liked her. I think she could be a good, like, Abner replacement for me.
Are we talking about Arabelle?
Yeah. I think she's gonna be like my new favorite NPC.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I mean, I told you all, I haven't finished the prologue quest. I'm very close to finishing it, but I just didn't get time, unfortunately, before the show tonight. But first of all, I like the way that she looks. I think her outfit is really, really cool. But just the way that she speaks and things like that, I would agree with you, Gwen. I think she's kind of like a female Abner. Like, that's the vibe I get from her a little bit. So I'm excited to see how she is in the actual chapter, and
For sure.
kind of learn more about her, because yeah, I think she's pretty cool.
You just want to get Investigator Vale's signature, don't you?
Sure do.
Am I remembering correctly that she looks like she's an older character?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. She might have a little Betty White in her.
Got the gray hair and the wrinkles.
You know what? I do kind of get that vibe too. I can see that.
Little snarky.
A Betty White vibe. A Betty White sort of vibe. That's what I was trying to say.
But yes, the point of the quest is to find these medallions, and there's five medallions. And so it's they're given to people as invitations to get to the peace talks. We get one for each alliance, and then the Mages Guild and Fighters Guild. Why are they being invited to the peace talks again? We learned how that went with Cold Harbor the first time around. Whatever.
Yeah, they're neutral, right? They're not aligned with any alliance at all. They try to stay out of that. So it's been so long since I've played the base game story that I don't remember all the specifics, but them being a neutral party in theory means that they don't have a vested interest in trying to sway it one way or the other in favor of any of the three alliances.
Sorry, I was working on audio there for a second again.
It's okay. But we learned the Ascendant Order, according to Jakarn and Lady Arabelle, is they are anti-Three Banners War, and they are supposed to be non-violent. So when we run into them and they start being violent, that is apparently out of character for them.
Yeah, I think in the announcement stream, one of the things that they mentioned was that they are non-violent essentially, but they're also not afraid to remove whoever is in the way. So in terms of them being non-violent, they're not it's not like we hate this particular group, or we don't like this particular Tamrielic race. That's not how it works. How it works for them is, hey, this is my goal, you're in the way, now you must be removed. Whether that's politely or violently, we don't care, we just want you out of the way, because you're in the way of what we're trying to accomplish. So essentially that's why they are the way they are.
Okay. But then that is why we are in Morrowind, because apparently that is where the Ascendant Order is based, because that's where we have to go to find our medallions.
Oh, I guess I didn't make that connection. Huh.
That's why we ended up in Morrowind, because that's where we're going to find the medallions and Valessa.
Makes sense.
Another notable organization that we learn about through this quest is the Society of the Steadfast, which is a group that provide aid to the displaced and wounded of the Three Banners War in Cyrodiil, and they also do other charitable works. And then that is an organization that Lady Arabelle is a part of.
Do they mention, I can't remember in the quest dialogue, I'll need to go back and look at it again. Do they mention what some of those other, like, charitable things are that they've done?
They don't. They just say, and other charitable things.
Maybe they'll expand on that in the chapter a little bit. Like, maybe we'll see some of the other stuff that they do.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe Lady Arabelle or Valessa will tell us more. That's just what Jakarn tells us, and he said he was at one of those boring soirees. So.
Sorry, I'm quickly, I was quickly looking at the UESP for it.
Okay. And then we run through, we meet, it's fun running through this, because when you're going through it and you're trying to absorb all of the lore and the knowledge to, like, try to find more stuff on this stuff later, it's great, because you're going through and it's like, oh, this person's important, let's write that down. Yep, never mind, they're dead. Alright, let's find this, let's write down this person. They sound important. Never mind, they're dead. And so I won't give away too many spoilers. So we won't mention who and why and what and my questions. However, we at the end of it, when Lady Arabelle's talking about the peace talks and stuff, she does mention running. She hasn't seen Rigert the Brash in quite a while, so hopefully he shows up to the peace talks. That'd be great.
And they did say that there would be several returning fan favorite characters.
Could you picture Rigert talking about peace for the entire Ebonheart Pact?
That would be something.
Full disclosure, I don't even know if I've seen that guy yet.
What?
He's in every zone!
I've probably met him, but I've only done...
You're a Khajiit.
But I don't go to the crafting stations and elsewhere. I hang out in Morrowind. Yeah. But I'm very sneaky. I can blend in. Kitty gonna sneak. Also, I just got booted, so...
Oh, bye! Yeah.
This audio is gonna sound great. People are gonna be like, wow, these guys are just all over the place.
Listen, the fact that we're even streaming right now is the Divine's intervention, because, to be honest, when one thing after another kept happening, I was like, maybe we shouldn't do this week.
Yeah.
So, I'm impressed that we're doing something.
The thought did cross my mind about going, maybe not tonight, but you know, the show must go on, as they say.
But if you haven't played through the prologue quest yet, do it, and it's good. It gives you a lot of information. I personally enjoyed meeting Lady Arabelle. She was nice. And I am really looking forward to seeing Rigert the Brash again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely kind of looking forward to maybe actually doing this this story. I want to do all of them. but you know how that goes. But the pirate theme, I think, is going to be kind of fun.
I just want a boathouse. I hope the house at the end of the year is a boat. I want a boat.
Well, we have had a boathouse.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That's a boat in, like, a grotto. I don't want to feel obligated to decorate a grotto. I just want a boat.
That's fair.
She's got her Nordic.
So you want a smaller home?
No, I'll take a ship. I just don't want the grotto with it.
Okay.
She just wants the ship portion.
Well, I guess if you have some water around it, you could always get you some boat furnishings and throw those around, and you can have your own little armada.
Mm-hmm. If you do the antiquities enough, you will end up with a ton of those boats. I think I have 3 of them right now. But I know some people that have intentionally, in decorating, gone and scried for that multiple times to get, like, a whole fleet. And then they, like, put them all in the pond outside of, like, their home. Or, like, if you go to the Sijic Villa, you know, you've got all that area that's, like, almost dock space. You can throw a whole armada out there, which is pretty fun.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. It's a good time. So.
You sunk my battleship! Isle edition.
Sijic version. Sijic edition. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to completing this. I definitely want to hear about it. And I definitely want to know a little bit more about the fact that since High Isle has changed hands multiple times, and it is neutral, but still a Breton territory, I'm really excited to see how the other NPCs and the other characters that are in the world react to what they've set up here. I think it'll be cool to see if there are some that are completely neutral, or if there are some that are kind of like, you know, oh, you support, or you're working with the Society of the Steadfast, or are you working with the Ascendant Order? You know, kind of that, like, good, bad.
That's true, because in the original thing, when you go to the peace talks, it doesn't matter if you've helped all of them before. They're still just like, oh, you're the agent of Iran?
Oh, you're here? Yeah.
It's like, doesn't matter if you, like, help them. You're helping you're there on behalf of the enemy? What?
Yeah. Does that... okay, I don't want to ask that question because A, I don't want to sound stupid, and B, I haven't finished the prologue, so I'll just wait and see. But I was going to ask.
What's the question?
You said agent of Iran, right?
Well, yeah, because, you know, during the original quest line, when you're going to get the 3 leaders to go to the peace talks before you go to Cold Harbor in the main story, if you're, like, sided with the Dominion, they're like, oh, it doesn't matter if you help the other guys. They're just like, oh, you're with them. Doesn't or like if you're side with Yorin and you go to the Dominion, they're just like, oh, well, Oak, you've helped us before, but okay.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering, if some of that dialogue changes depending on whether you're AD, EP, or DC.
Wow, you just spit them out like you had them memorized.
Well, I mean, I do spend a lot of hours in this game.
Yeah, I just wonder if that's going to be the same for this chapter, or if we're going to move past that, or how it's going to be laid out, depending upon what your alliance is.
That's what I mean. I wonder if the not to crisscross, you know, IPs or whatever, but I'm thinking almost like the Star Wars scenario where it's like Jedi, Sith, and then almost like a weird, not rogue in between, but I guess what I'm trying to say is the difference between like a smuggler, how they fall kind of neutral versus light side, dark side, you know?
My biggest question is after, because if this is supposed to still be a thing that takes place after what happened in Cold Harbor, how are the Mages Guild and Fighters Guild being invited? How are they going to react differently to it? Because after being sent to Cold Harbor, having all of that happen. How are they just gonna go along as business as usual? Because I just don't think after an entire organization gets like thrown into an oblivion after that, I don't think they'd really approach it with the same mindset, and that just would seem odd if they did.
Yeah, and that's another question. How will this chapter affect you depending on how far you are in these quest lines? Mages Guild and Fighters Guild. If they are going to be heavily involved again. Because have they been in... I'm trying to think. Have we had them really involved too much in other quest lines? There's so many. It's hard to almost think through them.
Not since the main story.
Yeah, I don't... Well, I mean, the Sijiks, right? So Somerset...
But were the Mages Guild or Fighters Guild doing stuff with the Sijiks? The Sijiks are their own organization.
Right, but it's a little complex, their relationship with the Mages Guild, I guess I'm saying. So I don't know, because I haven't ever been through it. My main, I do all of everything on. So I don't know if any of that dialogue changes depending upon your stance with the Mages Guild or not. Not sure. And with the Sijiks, because I'm not a lore hound, so I'm having a brain fart right now on...
the Sijiks like to stay separate from everything.
Yeah. Because they left essentially when Vanis Galarian formed the Mages Guild, so...
Because what did Velsurin say? That they observe, and they just look for the ripples, and they help with those. But otherwise, they try to stay out of it.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I want to know what the story is with the mages and the Fighters Guild. Why are they invited? What's the deal with that? What's the deal with that?
Maybe they're just going to be the entertainment at the party.
Maybe. Or, you know what would... This would never happen at all. I don't think. But you know what? Well, go ahead. Go ahead with what you're going to say.
Minor spoiler. I thought the Mages Guild representative, because you meet him during the prologue quest, I thought he was going to be, like, maybe the ultimate bad guy in the leak and everything for why the medallions disappeared and stuff, since he was the one who made the master medallion. But then he died.
Oh, man, I got so much kid aggro tonight. I'll be back again.
Because my question is where did the leak come from? Who would have said that you need these medallions, that these exist to get to this location?
Well, rumor has it that the oh my goodness, the Ascendant Champion. Rumor has it that is a female.
Yes, that's confirmed.
Oh, I was just going to say rumor for spoiler purposes, but you know, I'm a little suspicious of Lady Arabelle. But we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe that's just me trying to be the, you heard it here first kind of guy. But I've just seen too many stories where the one that seems to be the good guy, that seems to be the person who's the victim and being set up, is actually the one instigating the entire thing. And was she the one that commissioned for the things to be created in the first place? Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I mean, she may be trying to get all of the leaders together in order to, maybe take them all out.
You know, I was very suspicious of her at that one point when she's like, oh yeah, I'll dispel it on the way. Oh, I was too busy to dispel it. Oh, don't worry, I'll dispel it. I did start feeling really sketchy about her at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I won't be
But you can't kill off Emmerich that early.
Oh no, but I have my suspicions. I think that she might be a little shady. She already doesn't want you asking about the stories that she's writing. So
Okay, for starters, it was a tabloid hunter, like for one of those silly sleazy tabloids, just trying to make a story,
the Tamrielian.
just to sell stuff. It's just, yes, the Tamriel version of some sleazy tabloid writer.
So yeah, we'll see. I would not be surprised at all, just because I've just seen that story play out before. That if that's
Well,
the
if
way
we're
they
gonna
go,
play it like that, I'm thinking it would be Valessa.
the one that got kidnapped.
Yes, because she wasn't hurt or killed while she was kidnapped. She was just sitting in a cave.
But this is a non-violent group, right?
The
Supposedly.
non-violent group that kept trying to hurt us? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Well, we were in their way. So
What'd I miss?
We're just both trying to we're trying to explain our points on Never saying that Lady Arabelle probably is orchestrating everything, and I'm counterpointing that it could also potentially be Valessa.
yeah, because if the Ascendant champion is a woman,
Oh, yeah.
and Gwen pointed out, there's a point where Lady Arabelle is like, "Oh, I'll do this on the way," but it's like that probably needs to be done immediately. Nah, I'll take care of it. It's like, why wouldn't she go ahead and do the thing? But yeah, so I have my suspicions on that, but we shall see. It could be Lyris.
Because we're just trying to figure, we started talking about because we're trying to figure out the leak of who even told the Ascended Order about these medallions. Because we know that Archmagister Delric was the one who created the Master Medallion for Valessa to create the copies for the invitations. So we got him, we got Valessa, and we got Arabelle, and who else knows about it? So there has to be a leak in here somewhere within the small group.
Lyris.
Jakar.
I believe Jakar.
Yeah, it's Lyris.
Everything's Lyris for you.
I mean, she's a big giant woman. Do you want to fight Lyris? I don't want to fight Lyris. She's huge.
I just really don't think she has the time. She's been in Greymoor for so long.
Yeah, because a lot of these things overlap. They just take place in different parts of the thing.
I'm just being facetious. I don't really think it's Lyris.
We know.
All right, let's stop picking apart this prologue before we give away all the spoilers.
Okay, hold on. I just found something very interesting. I found a few quotes from Bill Slavisek. Right? Is his first name Bill? I'm having a brain fart on that. But anyway, from Slavisek, it says, these are relating to the Ascendant Order. It says, the quest for a crownless utopia marks them as a villainous organization that isn't one-dimensional, but is staffed by people with real conviction and a lofty goal they see as just, and which other people concur with due to the fact that they market themselves as people who are anti-violence in Tamriel. The Ascendant Order has what they consider to be a noble purpose. It's just a matter of how you interpret what they're doing. Layman Tuttle also went on to describe the Ascendant Order as a pan-Tamrielic movement and is not a group just restricted to High Isle. That's the first time I've seen that or heard that.
Well, that explains why we saw them in Morrowind.
Right. But I mean, it's interesting that the whole pan-Tamrielic, It's not just in a couple places, it's everywhere. It says, since they are Breton influenced, they liken themselves to a knightly order, though most of the orders think of them as a rogue order of well-armed fanatics. They don't reveal their identities. They wear their helmets all the time, and in some ways, they act like terrorists as they try to go about achieving their goals. They have what they consider to be a noble purpose, but it's how you interpret what they're doing and the fallout that it actually causes. He says, that's actually a good thing, right? We want them to end the war. It's a matter of how they go about doing it that becomes the driving force of the story. And their leaders, we've got a few of them that you'll meet across the story, are individuals that, at least on the surface, have noble goals and believe in things that most of the common folk of Tamriel would probably support until people start dying. So there you go. That's some stuff straight from the Lore Master. Straight from the Lore Master and straight from Slavsek.
Well, there you have it.
Politics.
So there you go.
This year's chapter is either pirates or politics.
Or maybe it's pirates and politics.
Well, it is pirates and politics. It just depends which one you want to focus on.
Right, of course.
Well, does that finish up for the prologue? I think we're already going to have to make a note for some spoilers because we didn't think to say spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't want to give everything away, but so all right, we're skipping over the other thing for later.
And we're going
Snugpods.
right to
We
the
can talk about
Snugpods.
Snugpods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a contest coming up. Let's see. Yeah, so we've talked about having a Snugpod decorating contest, or or we talked about, people, you can decorate your Snugpod and maybe we'll come check it out, maybe even host a show there. But we are going to open up a Snugpod decorating contest, and I will let one of you go over that because you have more details on that and have more knowledge of what's going on with that, because I haven't even read over the notes all the way yet.
No worries. So it's basically decorate your Snugpod and you could have the chance to win one of the green or yellowy torch bugs from the game. Essentially, the torch bug is going to be the prize for first, and then we're going to have some other prize stuff that we're still working out coming later, so we'll announce more on that later. But we have decided as a group that the contest is going to run through the drop of High Isle on consoles. So there's plenty of time. You can start now, and then you have plenty of time to enter. Because High Isle does not drop on console until, what did we say, June 26th? Is that correct, I believe?
Was it 26th or 21st?
I think it's 21st.
Because it's June 6th for PC, right?
Oh, yes, thank you.
And then 2 weeks would be
June
13. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yes, you are correct. I do believe that's correct, yeah. So it'll be through that. The reason that we're doing that is because you can use any theme, any design within your Snugpod itself, and that gives plenty of people plenty of time to actually acquire the Snugpod if you don't have it, because it can be acquired in-game for gold. But this will also give you time, like let's say that you're a crafter and you want to get a particular furnishing item, or you need to work on mats for something. It gives people plenty of time to be able to hopefully decorate and do things without feeling rushed. Because if we did just a couple weeks, we felt like it would be kind of rushed. So we wanted to be able to have more people get involved. So it's going to be open not only to just those that are in the Lore Seekers PlayStation Discord and in the guild, but we are going to be opening it up to other listeners. So if you're on PlayStation, because that is who the torch bug is for, as far as we know. If you're on PlayStation and you are just a listener, but you're not in our guild yet, we are going to come out with some more information on how to submit your entries at some point soon. It may be Twitch, maybe that we get your name and your entry through Twitter, and then we have you, make it your primary residence. We're going to work all of that stuff out here in the next couple weeks. So
I think we could probably start a Twitter thread for that, right? Just as,
Yeah, we probably could start a thread for that and say, entries have to be in by a certain time or whatever. But that would just be screenshots, and sometimes you don't get
right.
the full gambit without actually going into the snug pod.
Oh, we're gonna go. We're gonna tour them. We're gonna have housing tours.
Oh,
yeah, if people can make it their primary residence and then give us their in-game information so we can type it in and find them or friend them, then we should be able to visit the different snug pods that we get entries for. So we'll be sure to get that information clarified for everybody and kind of out to you really, really soon, because we're still working out some of the prizes and stuff. But the other thing is, if you want to join us in our Lore Seekers Discord, you are more than welcome to join our guild on PlayStation. We've got a couple new things that are starting to ramp up. Pretty excited. We have some new fishing stuff that's starting
tomorrow night.
So that's pretty exciting. Shout out to Moki 2000 taking that on for at least this week, and then see how the turnout goes, and do stuff maybe in future weeks. So pretty excited to be having some things start up again.
Yep, to our Lore Seeker guildies, if you want to see events and things, I know they've been kind of sporadic, but if you want to see those kind of things happen, then when they do happen, go and be part of them. And we know not everybody can make everything. That's understandable, but if somebody puts in the time and sets aside a time to try to do something and only one person shows up, it can be a little discouraging. It's hard to keep excitement up for something like that when, if you don't feel like people are going to want to do it, then, it's hard to be motivated to keep trying to push that. So go out and support the people that are doing that. Go join up with Moki this week, and
don't feel obligated to go every time. Just because you go once doesn't mean you have to go every time.
Yeah.
If you have free time and you want to just pop in and join, go for it.
Yeah.
Just because you go once doesn't mean you have to go all the time.
Yeah, and if you have ideas for events, again, we keep plugging this. If you're in our guild and you have an idea for things you'd like to do, reach out to us. We can get all of that set up for you. We can make a schedule and have that on a calendar. It could be a regular occurring thing, or you can sponsor a one-time, bigger event if you want to do that. There's a lot of different options on that, but yeah, definitely reach out to us with any ideas that you have, and we can get that going and help you get started. But if you're not in our guild, come join us.
Yeah.
Did you give the information? Go ahead.
I didn't. I was about to tag on to what you just said. You can join us by going to loreseekerseso.org. There's a quick application there. It's basically just our little filter to make sure that we're not getting people that wouldn't be a good match for the community, because the community is very large. We do have Lore Seekers guilds across pretty much all platforms, both EU and NA. Some of the NA ones are probably our more active and main ones, but there are actually, I can't say that. PC EU is awesome because they have Aramithius and a bunch of people there that are also very, very active, that are other podcasters and lore junkies and stuff. So we do have NA and EU for the most part on everything. I think the only one that I'm unsure of is I do not believe at the moment that we currently have an Xbox EU. I think we only have Xbox NA. If you're interested in joining us, loreseekerseso.org, fill that out. Typically, one of the guild officers gets to it pretty quickly, and then hopefully we can get you all, met up with people in the game who hopefully are like-minded and want to run content the same way that you do. So give that a thought if you'd like to.
Yep, and if you want to, if you're listening to this and you want to watch, you can catch us on twitch.tv/snugpodcast, or you can all
don't use this week as a judge.
yeah, this one might be a little rough. The other option is you can just search Snug Podcast on YouTube, and all of the videos will be there too. They're on Twitch for like 14 days or something like that, I think. But they'll stay up on YouTube indefinitely.
Except for maybe this one.
Oh, no, it's fine. And if you're watching and you think, it would be a whole lot more convenient if I could just listen to this and not have to sit and watch this for an hour plus, then good news. We have podcast form too, and give a couple of days and this will be available in audio form on Google and Apple and Spotify and Stitcher, and that list apparently has grown a few. I've seen a few different places that are pulling our feed, so you should probably be able to find us on most of the major platforms at this point. And Gwen, where else can they find us?
At Twitter, on the Twitter at Snugpod Cast, and that's it. You already said Twitch, so yeah.
But you can email us.
Yeah,
You can email us
yeah.
at snugpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, Sasquatch is normally our email guy, but he's not here this week, so it's very important that we get that. It's very important we get that email out there. We know everybody uses email these days. Nobody's using the Twittergrams. So, all right. Well,
I have one other quick thing to add.
Yes.
And it's not about our social media. Sorry, it's kind of back on a guild announcement thing.
Okay.
So, if you heard me say a minute ago that we have tons of the guild across all platforms. We have done cross-platform events before, so that's one other thing. If you have a fun idea that you think could be a friendly poke or competition amongst our other Lore Seekers guilds that are across all the other platforms, go ahead and shout that out to us too, because it's always fun to get the whole Discord involved together. We had a really great time. We did dragon hunts once against each other, and that was an amazing. We had, what was it, a 2-hour window? Yeah. I think it was a 2-hour window to see which group could kill the most dragons and report them.
We are small but mighty.
Yeah, so it was pretty great to see how close stuff was, especially when you look at the size of the groups that were going and the amount of times that we're going. So it was pretty fun. So if you have any other thoughts on things to do like that, let us know with that too.
Yeah, we should do another dragon hunt sometime. That was a good way to incorporate every platform.
We talked about that, and we also talked about like a tavern crawl, like just all of the guilds at the same time travel the same places, and just everybody's in Discord or whatever all together. But we haven't really worked that out much, but something along those lines.
Yeah, logistics on that sometimes are tricky, especially with all the time zones and.
Yeah, the poor EU people when we did the dragon hunt, because it would have been some ridiculous amount of time in the morning for them when we all grouped up. Ended up doing it, I think, actually before us. They did their 2-hour window previous and then just reported it to the PCNA people, and they were the ones that recorded it for the officers, so it's pretty cool.
Yep. Well, all right. I think that wraps us up for tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us and listening or watching or however you choose to consume the thing that we do. We will hopefully be back again next week without all of the issues that we had this week. Now we've learned some lessons, so hopefully we can get started a little sooner next week and maybe even on time. It's possible. It could happen. You never know.
Maybe one day.
Maybe we should just say on time is like midnight, and then when we start before that, we can say, hey guys, guess what? We're starting early.
That's why I've been putting a window of time. I'm like, between 11 and 11:30.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to start telling my boss, I'll be there sometime between this time and that time,
Yeah, that'll work out. You let me know how that works out for you.
All right. Well, again, thanks for coming out, and we appreciate everything. And, if you want to help support us, share us and push buttons that have little thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. I don't care to get into all that, but you know how to do all the things because all the other people will tell you to smash stuff and break things and throw your phone and stuff and whatever. But yeah, but definitely just share and leave reviews and all that kind of thing. Just let us know, give us feedback. That's the big thing. We'd like to know what we're doing well, what we could do better. what you'd like for us to discuss, any of that kind of stuff. So you can do all that through our social medias. And so we look forward to hearing from you. And everyone have a good night. And we will see you next time.
Catch you later. Bye.